Well, hello, friends. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Today we're going to be learning about the letter H. H is an interesting letter because even though the word for it is H, the H makes a H sound. So it can get confusing. Today we're going to learn about the H sound, all the things that begin with the H sound. And you are going to need, again, if you have some Play-Doh, one piece of Lego, but you can take more if you'd like, your H sheet, and some markers or crayons or anything else that you would like to use for coloring. I will see you all soon. Did they see me?
I love my alphabet, I love my state, and I love learning, and it's great. Put the three together, what do you get? You get an alphabet that just won't quit. Alligator, boat. Conch shells, they don't float. When you go so fast. Everglades, sea of grass. Fishing in the Gulf. Herring with the fish in his mouth. It's from mosquito bites. Jellyfish, what a sight. Sing it high. Florida alphabet. Stick around, you ain't heard nothing yet. It's my Gloria alphabet. Sing along with me. Cookie, almost stinks. Lobster, tasty, I think. Manatee, gentle and slow. Naples, where the old folks go. Osceola, Indian chief. Pelican, coral reef. Waterloo, tied to sail. Raccoon with the long green tail. Sing it high. Gloria alphabet. Stick around, you ain't heard nothing yet. It's my Gloria alphabet. Sing along with me. Suntan on a winter's day. Turtle floating on the bay. Umbrella always in reach. Maroon at Daytona Beach. Water spout off the coast. Extra juicy clams you can roast. Yellow body abstract stinks. Zephyrhills, famous springs. Sing it high. Florida alphabet. Stick around, you ain't heard nothing yet. It's my Florida alphabet. Sing along with me. Sing it high. Florida alphabet. Stick around, you ain't heard nothing yet. It's my Florida alphabet. Sing along with me. Sing along with me. Sing along with me.
Welcome back, everyone. How y'all doing? All right. So let's get down to business. First thing we always do is we check in. So I'm going to give you a minute because we only have one friend that has the letter H in his name,
Hi, guys.
It doesn't make the H sound in his name, but he does have the letter H. So if you can think of our list of names when you sign in, which of you has the letter H in your name, then you can let me know as I'm putting up your pictures. So Natanya does not have the letter H. Grayson does not have the letter H. Neither does this Grayson. They both don't have the letter H. Daniel does not have the letter H. Cameron does not have the letter H. Benny does not have the letter H. Paxton does not have the letter H. Manny does not. Have you figured out by now who does? That's right. Moshe has an H in his name. His name is spelled M-O-S-H-E. Moshe. Good. Avery does not. Jacob does not. And Yael does not. So if we have one friend whose name has the letter H in it, how many children would be over here? 1 plus, how many children would be on this side? I'll give you a minute to count. That's right. 1 plus 11 equals all the children in our class, which is 12. Good. Let's make sure we're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 plus 11 equals 12. Very good. Okay. So let's jump right into making the letter H, because the letter H, the uppercase H actually is very simple because it's just lines. And we learned a lot about lines and we're really good at it. So let's take these names off, the faces off, and we are going to practice our letter H right over here. And of course we start at the top. So we are going to start up here. I'm going to make one long line down, and then I'm going to jump over here and make the second line. Right now it looks like the number 11. So I need to make it look like an H. And by that, I'm going to stand right in the middle over here and make my third line across. 1 line down, 2 lines down, 1 line across. So the H happens to be a very, very easy letter. It's not as easy as an L, because an L is just line down, line across, but it is pretty easy nevertheless. Now let's try to do a lowercase h. A lowercase h is a little trickier because it does have a curve in it. And sometimes for some of us, making curves is not so easy. But we're going to start at the top again. We're going to go down, and then we're going to start right in the middle of the H and make a curved line down. All right, let's practice that again. We got a long line down, and we're going to start in the middle, and we're going to just curve it around. Good. All right, long line down, start in the middle, and you make a curve, and that is a lowercase h. Now, H makes the H sound. So we are going to go through some of the words that begin with the H sound, and then we're also going to do some rhyming words because I love to rhyme. So if you remember, beginning sounds all sound the same. If we're beginning all our words with the H sound, they're all going to start the same. But when we rhyme, they end the same. But we're going to do that in a minute. So let me pull my trusty yellow paper over here so we can take a look at some items that I brought here. And we'll see if we can figure out what they are. And I will write the words on my handy dandy yellow paper.
What about hangnail?
What?
You get a hangnail?
Yeah. Okay, so which words begin with H? So what I'm going to start doing first is just make a bunch of H's. Let's make a bunch of H's over here so we know. We're going to start each of these words with an H. So remember, the H, you can form it just like I showed you, or you can do it like this, like I'm doing it. This way is probably easier. Good. And on this side, I'm going to write the word hat. because this is going to be our rhyming side. So everything on here is going to end with the at sound. I don't want to confuse you, but these words are going to start with the h, and then we'll move on to the other side. So let's begin with something that I'm going to point to right now. What's this? If you said head or hair, you are correct. Head, let me use a different color for that. Head and hair both begin with the h sound, with the letter H. And H makes the h sound. Good. Head and hair. How about this? That's right, it's a hat. And I already wrote hat here. Hat is going to be our rhyming word for today. So let's move on. Does anybody know what this is that I have in here? Bees make it, and it's very sweet and sticky. I'll show you inside. Does anybody know what that is? If you said honey, you are correct. That's honey. Honey is spelled H-O-N-E-Y. Honey. Good. All right. How about this one? That's right, it's a hippo. It's a hippo. A hippo is H-I-P-P-O. And that is short for hippopotamus. That's right. Good. We have a few more. What other body part starts with the h sound? You can tell me. You're probably using it right now to write your words. That's right, it's your hands. Hands start with the h sound, with the letter H. Hands. H-A-N-D-S. Hands. Very good. The last word is something you are probably sitting in right now, and it belongs to you and your family. And it has a roof over your head, and walls, and furniture inside. You got it. You're really smart. It is house. House is spelled H-O-U-S-E. House. Good. And you can think of your own words, and you can sound them out as best as you can. So for example, if you wanted to write the word horse, you would think of the first letter, which would be an H, right? And you would go really, really slowly through the word. Horse, horse. And you write down all the letters that you hear. And you can do that anytime you want to write a word. You just listen for the sounds that it makes. And you can write the letters all by yourself. And slowly, slowly, you'll begin to write them properly. But in the beginning, just listen for the sounds and write the sounds that you hear. And that's a good way to get started in spelling, is just writing down all the sounds that you hear to make a word. So let's move over now over here to the word hat. So hat starts with an H, but we're not doing beginning sounds anymore. Now we're doing ending sounds, which are rhyming words. So hat, I'm going to put a bunch of at, because they're all going to end in the at sound, right? Because hat ends with an at. It's h-at, hat. Good. You can rhyme a lot of words with hat. So let me put a bunch of ats over here. And we're just going to add beginning sounds, different beginning sounds, and we're going to make a bunch of rhyming words. So if I put an M in front of hat, what do I have now? M-at. mat. You see. So I have the beginning sound m, and it ends with at. So it's mat. We have hat, and we have mat. Good. Can you think of another word that ends with the at sound? I can think of one, and it starts with an F. Fat. Hat, mat, fat. Good. Now let's think of some more. How about if I put a B in front of it? Bat. Good. Hat, mat, fat, bat. How about a C? Cat. Very good. You're getting really good at this. This is a good one. Good. How about if I put an S? Good. Sat. Excellent. Hat, mat, fat, bat, cat, sat. And we have one more. So what letter am I going to put in front of this one so that we have a new word? Who can think of a word? I'm going to put a P. And our last word, can you read that? Pat. Very good. We got a lot of rhyming words today. We have a lot of words that begin with the H sound, and then we have a lot of words that end with the at sound. Today, I'm going to read you a book about a hot air balloon. Hot begins with the letter H. And this is very interesting because it talks about real hot air balloons that float in the sky. I don't know if you've ever seen any. Hold on one second. Ooh. I don't know if you've ever seen them in the sky. I've seen them. And now we're going to find out all about them because the truth is that I'm really curious about them too. I don't know too much about hot air balloons. Birds can fly high in the sky. People have always wanted to fly too. The first time that anyone flew was in a hot air balloon. I guess that was way before helicopters and airplanes. They had something called the hot air balloon. Do you know how the balloon flew? Two French brothers made the first balloon. Their balloon was made of cloth and paper. They tied a basket below to hold passengers. So on the bottom, they held some passengers so that they could fly up with the balloon. A sheep, a duck, and a rooster were the first to fly in the balloon. It wasn't even people. The passengers were animals. They were the first to get to fly. People were amazed to see the balloon fly. It landed with the animals all safe inside. The people wanted to fly in balloons. So the first balloon to carry people flew over Paris, France. That is very far away from here. We can take a look at it on the globe if Maurice wants to bring it. We can look at where Paris, France is in a minute. The first balloons were filled with hot smoke. Large fires were built on the ground. The hot air made the balloons rise. Just like the hot air makes water evaporate. It works in the same way. How cool. We just learned about that today when we were reading all about little drops. That when the weather gets warm, all the little drops evaporate and make clouds in the air. Then they floated in the air for about 30 minutes. That's a half an hour. That's a long time to be floating in a balloon. More people began to fly in hot air balloons. People who flew them were called pilots. Other people just wanted to take rides. These passengers rode in the basket along with the pilot. So cool. Hot air balloons had one big problem. The hot air inside them would start to cool off, and this made the balloons come down. Then burners were put under the balloons. They kept the air hot so balloons could fly even longer. Look at that. So cool. Look at everyone watching them fly. Flying hot air balloons became very popular, which means that a lot of people really liked them. People gathered to watch the balloons fly. Some fairs started to have balloon rides. Children even played with toy balloons. Look at them over there. Today, hot air balloons are still popular. They are very bright and colorful. They come in many shapes and sizes. Some are even taller than a 7-story building. Look how big they are. So cool. They're so colorful. Balloons today are made of nylon cloth. Their ropes are made of steel. They all have burners under them. They usually have a basket underneath to carry passengers. Look at them flying in there. Here's how a balloon begins its flight. First, it's spread out on the ground. See, they put it down on the ground. A fan fills the balloon with air. So just like when we blow up a balloon, we fill it with air, they use a fan. Then the burner warms the air inside the balloon. The warm air makes the balloon rise. Then everyone gets in the basket. A blast of hot air lifts the balloon. Slowly it rises into the sky. Once in the sky, balloons can move fast. But most flights are usually quiet and slow. They last for about 1 or 2 hours, so that's longer than they used to last before. Now they last 1 or 2 hours instead of half an hour. Hot air balloons float high above the ground. To land, the pilot looks for a large open area. The pilot pulls a line tied to the balloon. This line lets the hot air out the top. Then the balloon floats down. Here's the pilot. Look what they're doing. Down, down the balloon floats. A balloon landing can be very rough. The basket may bump along the ground or it may tip over onto its side. So not quite like if you were riding an airplane. The view from hot air balloons is amazing. When you get all the way up there, you can look down. And a ride in a hot air balloon is exciting. Balloons fly with the wind and float in the clouds. Would you like to take a hot air balloon ride? Because I would. Now let's take a look on the map where Paris, France is. Because that's where the first hot air balloon was. Okay, so here we are in Europe. And France is right here. Right there is Paris, France. That purple, the purple right there. See there? That's Paris, France. And now let's take a look at where we are. So this is Paris, France over here. And we are over here in America. We're right down here in Florida. Remember this, Moshe? Where we are right down here in Florida? That's right. Moshe just came in. You want to say hi to your friends, Moshe? It's my episode. You want to say hello? We're doing the letter H. And guess what? You're the only one in our class who has an H in his name. Did you know that? You're the only one. So now, let's move on to our paper, our H paper. What I'd like to do today is something different to make our H. So I'm going to move this down a little bit.
And we have some Play-Doh.
Right, so we're going to be using Play-Doh. So we're going to squash the Play-Doh down. All right, we're going to squash the Play-Doh down on your table. Squash it. And then we are going to form the letter H using our piece of Lego. So if you have your piece of Lego, let's see if you're able to do this. Thank you, Moshe. So now let's make the letter H. So the letter H has 2 long lines. So I'm going to take my Lego. Hold on, Moshe. Let me take the Lego and show you. So we're going to take the Lego and we're going to make a long line like this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me bring the computer a little bit closer, right here. Okay. So a long line, you see, with the Lego, and then I'm going to make another long line here with the Lego. So we have 2 lines now, 1, 2, and now I'm going to make, bless you, Moshe, bless you, and now I'm going to make the line across. And so now we have an H made out of Play-Doh and Lego, and you can actually do that for all of your letters. You can do that for every letter. You can take a piece of Play-Doh, oops. You can take a piece of Play-Doh, you can flatten it out, and you can make all sorts of letters in it with just a piece of Lego. So there you go. You can do that anytime you want. Yesterday I showed you how to roll it and make a letter. Right, and now you know how to make a letter by flattening your Lego and flattening your Play-Doh and using a Lego. Good. All right, so now let's move on to our sheet. We have our H sheet, so we're going to practice again how to make the letter H, how to form the letter H.
One line.
Oh, Moshe's making a different letter. Let's see what Moshe's making.
And
We'll bring this down here. Yeah.
And
All right, let's see what Moshe's doing down here.
You're making an M.
He's making an M. See, you can make all kinds of letters. Well, that's a V. See, we have a V right here. What else can you make?
Now I'm gonna make.
He's making a lot of letters. So cool. While he's
No.
doing that,
I'm not making a letter. I'm trying to
oh,
make
you're
a.
just gonna make a design.
I'm just trying to make a transformer.
Oh, see, you could do so many things with just a piece of Play-Doh and a piece of Lego. So simple. So, Moshe, would you like to help us with our letter H paper?
What's the problem?
No problem. Moshe, amazing. So come help me. I have it up here. Which part of it would you like to do first, Moshe? Look here. Which one would you like to do first? Which part?
I'm making this.
You want to color that? Okay, so take some markers.
I actually want to paint it.
Oh, Moshe wanted to paint. I didn't tell you guys to take out paint today,
No.
but if you'd like, then you can paint. Absolutely. Moshe, I'll give you some paint. Okay, and Moshe is going to paint the letter H with you guys.
Stand everywhere and then I'm gonna do
So,
this. Look at H's design right there. Look at that.
okay,
Oh my God.
but you get a choice. You can do the plate or you can do the paint. Which one would you like to do this morning?
Oh my God.
Are you
I just
using
made a
Play-Doh?
print.
Yes, you did. You want to sharpen what you
Play-Doh.
did?
That's awesome.
Okay, so Moshe's gonna do the Play-Doh.
Okay, this one.
Oh, you're gonna do the paint? Okay, so let me move out of the way.
And I'm just gonna water this thing.
Okay, so here, put the paints over here. Good, I'm gonna actually put your name up here because your name has an H in it. Okay, so what are you gonna do first on your paper? Oh, first he's painting the letter H. Very nice, Moshe. Wow, look at that. It's right in front of you. It's cleaning it up.
And then it's all clean and now.
Okay. What are you gonna do next? Oh, do some black.
It's a dark color.
It is a dark color.
Dark as a monster. Ooh. Ghost.
All right, look at that H. Looking really good, Moshe.
That's good.
I hope that everybody at home found some paint so you can follow along with Moshe. All right. Wow, look at that beautiful H.
Okay.
Looking really good. And he's washing his, you can't see it, but he is washing his paintbrush in between each color. Show you the whole business right there.
Maybe some like pink.
Okay, why not? Not much left.
Add some pink.
Yeah. Talk to your friends. Tell them what you're doing.
Okay, I'll try to get some pink, but it's not going out well.
Yeah, here's some pink over here. Try this pink. There you go.
It's working.
Yep,
Why is it not working?
it is working.
It looks purple.
It is a little bit purple.
So
All right.
now we got some purple.
All right. All right, now you
That looks purple.
colored the middle purple. All right, now you gotta trace. You gotta trace these letters with your paint. So let's.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
wash
you know what? I found the pink. Look at this right here.
like pink.
Yeah, I'm gonna wash it. Wash it a little bit, and there it is. It's pink.
I don't want.
Okay.
I have to wash it.
All right. Moshe's gonna trace the H
You need
right
some
here.
glue?
Remember, we learned it's one line down, another line down, one line across, and then the lowercase is one line down. You start from the middle and you go around. So Moshe's gonna do that right here.
Okay, we're gonna do the H.
One line down,
Okay, now I'm
two
gonna.
lines down, good, and then one line across.
Okay, I'm gonna use some like different.
Doing great. Moshe doing a
Okay, now I'm
fantastic
gonna
job.
do some of this.
Okay.
Oh no, my arm's turning dark.
Oh no, better finish your H.
Oh, it's actually turning light.
Oh, okay. All right, finish your H, and then we're gonna do the lowercase h. Or is it a line across? Look, you can go one line down, two lines down, and one line across. Okay, good. Down, and then around you go. Wow, that's a perfect lowercase h.
And then
That was actually perfect.
Wow, Moshe.
They actually need some more.
Okay. All right, now let's find the h's down here, Moshe. Ready to find all the h's? Look here. Look at all these h's. This is just my water. Look at all the h's down here. Let's find all the h's.
Ant. Okay.
And just start with ha.
House.
Good.
House.
All right, Moshe's doing this side next.
And now
This
use
is the same.
use a bottle gun my leg. Hold on.
I'll wipe it off. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
All right, what do you got? Ha.
House.
Excellent. There it goes.
And now I'm gonna
Moshe's really good at
now I'm
this.
gonna paint the house.
Now he's gonna paint it. So paint it with Moshe. If you're following along at home,
Okay, I'm using some of my favorite colors.
he's using some of his favorite colors.
I
Very
got
good
to
to
wash
know.
it off because they use
While he's doing that, I'm gonna play the best day ever for you guys while he's finishing up.
I want to see SpongeBob's face. My house is done.
Yay, okay. What else here starts with the huh sound?
Hippo.
Yes!
What color is hippo?
Usually gray, I would say. You gotta wash your thing. Me a good one, just wait and see. Ha, hippo! All right, hippo. Oh, Moshe got to concentrate on that.
He's washing our
Ha, hippo. There you go. Woohoo, Krabby Patty. All right, let's find all the H's down here.
Now I'm trying to like.
Well, that doesn't start with an H, unless it's a happy elephant. I guess it could be a happy elephant.
Okay, we're out of time.
Oh,
Okay, say goodbye, everyone.
okay, I guess we're out of time. You guys do the bottom by yourself. We love you. Moshe, say bye to your friends.
Bye.